Welcome back, everybody. Dread608 here, doing some initial videos for the early access release of Xenonauts2. I'm trying to do it from what I call an everyman's point of view. It's not necessarily the best way to play. There are people with more hours in the beta playtesting, which I was a part of. My Kickstarter level that I threw in allowed me to actually have a character built, which I built up here, called Sergeant Fred Buchholz. I had an Uncle Fred, so he kind of looked like this, full beard, losing his hair. Also, I kind of follow the same pattern myself, although I've gotten much grayer because I'm much older than this picture depicts. This was where we left off last time. I didn't want to hit the accept button because it'll immediately take us back to the Xenonaut, to the thing and get the timer started. So that's where we're going to go. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up button. If you really like to see, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notify bell, be notified to upload videos and our scheduled streams. This was our rewards, what we recovered from them. This will help us, give us more research capabilities and things, which you'll see here in a second. We're at day 3, about 5 o'clock in the morning, almost 6. So we go here. This was the last thing that we saw. You'll notice that this thing doesn't seem to turn around, so it's kind of weird that way. So we're going to zip ourselves back so that we don't get our items until we actually get the Skyhawk back to our base. Then we get all sorts of things. So now we get some screens here that's going to tell us what we recovered. Covered enemy can suggest widespread use of previously unknown metallic substance. Super heavy element is clearly artificial in origin, being far too massive to occur naturally, fundamentally unstable in its natural form, thus only ever encountered as an alloy. Properties of the alloys dramatically increase constituent metals, but appear to range from truly remarkable levels of strength to more exotic behavior, such as superconductivity. The nucleus of each item is so large, blah blah blah, and it gets you some really interesting. We can't synthesize it ourselves, so we have to scavenge it from our foes. So we can't make it, but we can use it. Okay, we accept that report. The next thing you get immediately is an autopsy section. Psionic triangulation, body size small. It's called a secton, and it kind of shows you a little bit of a gory autopsy with our genius scientist here recording everything. It gives you their stats, which is the important part. They have 45 health, 80 time units, accuracy 50, strength 60, reflex, so they get pretty good reflex shots at 75, but they don't have the greatest bravery, so you can suppress them fairly easily. Common thread among iOS reports of alien activity, and this is what they are. This is where the infamous gray aliens or whatever, but they are gray here. And then it goes through a lot of things here. The important thing here is battlefields cover ground quickly, large time units. Okay. Generally weak combatants, they only have 45 health. Accuracy and reflexes, otherwise poor physical attributes. They also been markedly more formally encountered in groups, somehow placing their shots with unerring accuracy when a fellow secton is nearby. That's the psionic triangulation thing. So you get a bonus if they're in clustered. If you see them in a clustered group, you want to try and do an area of effect thing to suppress them, flashbang grenade or something of that nature, or take down a few of them, because otherwise they're going to get bonuses. They also have what is it? So they have excellent vision. So they can shoot a long way too, depending on the weapon that they're using. So don't underestimate them, but you know, gives you some ideas of how to deal with them. If they're clustered together, you want to get rid of them. They tend to, you know, if they run in groups, you got to thin the group out so that they don't get their extra bonuses to hit you. Okay. And then the next thing it does is it pops up projects available. We now have research available. Okay. If you were to go to assign research project, it'll take you back into your base. But we're still 2 days and 13 hours away from finishing this. If you were to start another one, it will mess with you. Now, the one thing I noticed that this thing says effect is plus 240,000 monthly funding. I've done that in the past, but I don't see it show up in your funding report, which is going to be something I hope that they'll rectify here during early access. Right now, we're not going to change. We're going to finish off our combat vehicles, and then we'll probably go to Warden Combat and Armor, and then Alien Magnetic Weapons, which gives us better guns to shoot with. So that's going to be the route that I'm going to go down. Makes sense. Protect my soldiers and then shoot better. And then we can do the plot. Okay? We should be able to get them all done in 21 days. We're at day 3, so that would be by 27. So by the end of the first month, we should be able to get through all of these plot points. Okay? So that's the plan. Again, our engineers, which are idle at the moment, I want to leave them idle until I can build a combat vehicle. They are generating a little bit of cash for us. It's not very much, but they do start some. Take a quick look over at our soldiers. You'll see our shield person's time units went up a little bit. My points now are up to 60 time units. Hers is up to 60 time units. Our combat rifleman is up to 74. Okay. Part of this is, if you look here, your combat experience is a +4 because you're a sergeant. Okay. So raising up your levels here is good. Now, if you go back over here, we picked up a couple of new people. Notice none of these guys' stats went up. Okay. These were our first 3 originals. I had them not in the team because they had so low time units, low strength, not able to carry very much. So they're not very good. Okay. These were our 2 new recruits. They have a 61 here, so I'm going to change him into a combat rifleman. This was what I did in an earlier video. I built my own version of a rifleman called Combat Rifle. He goes there. He's at total carryable capability. His accuracy's down a little bit, but he has good health, really good time units, and not bad on the strength there. So he can carry all of his equipment and still stay somewhat protected. And Anna Mulder has even more time units and health and accuracy, and her strength should be good enough to allow her to become a combat rifleman, I believe. So she's carrying just a little bit too much weight, so as a combat rifleman, I'm going to have her get rid of her grenade so that she's under weight, so she gets her full time units. Okay? And then what we're going to do is in here, we had this one was kind of slowed down. Didn't get a lot, but still has 65 time units. Was it this one? Okay, see how she's gone up enough that we can actually almost add another weapon to? But they only have 46 time units, so I'm actually going to have her become unassigned. We're going to go back here, and we're going to grab Josh, who's only a private, or Anna rather, who's got 66 time units, and we're going to assign her to the Skyhawk. And then we're also going to do the same thing with there's another one here that's not that great. Yeah, she's not that good either, so we're going to actually have her get out of the unassigned role. We'll go back and pick up the other Josh Woods and put him in to the Skyhawk. Now, they don't have as much combat experience, but when you look at what we've got in here now, the combat riflemen all sitting in pretty good positions. We have one, our shield is kind of slow, but everybody else has 60, 60, 74, 65, which if I got rid of like a grenade, say I got rid of one of his grenades, he'd be at 71. 66, 61. Our heavy's at 60, our sniper's at 63. So everybody but the shield is moving at 60 or better time units, which is going to be important for one of the next missions that's coming up, which is a timed mission, which we'll get to in a little bit. In our stores now, we have a whole bunch of stuff. If you sell these things off, you you can go ahead and sell things off, but when you do, you get reduced return in the future for these things. So maybe not. Do not sell alien alloys, and if you ever get alinium, don't sell that either because you need it to build things. Okay. We don't really have a lot to build. Defender armor, which is not really worth building at this point. We don't have a hangar where we can build another things. That's going to be for 10 days. So it's going to be 13 days before we get there, but in 5 days we're going to be able to actually change our ability. Okay? And it's going to be 13 days before we see any influx of space and things and all of that. So we're going to just go back out to the geoscape and we're going to let it run up a bit because we're going to get to the next mission here pretty quick. Okay, so now I can build a Mars combat platform. It has 80 health, 80 time units, accuracy is 45, strength 60, 50 on its reflexes, 50 on its bravery. Bravery doesn't make any sense because it doesn't really reduce itself. It costs 5,000 a month to keep these in the field. Okay? Smash through most walls and covered objects as if they're not there. This has the obvious tactical utility itself, but in it, Candy Commander can also use his ability to create paths for nearby soldiers to use. So you can run through walls and things and make ways to get where there's not doors, you can make doors, so to speak. It's a small tracked vehicle. You also are going to be able to build a sentry gun, which is going to be on wheels. Costs 2,000 a month to have them. Has a reflexes of 75, and an accuracy of 50 and only. Time units of 40 and health of 80. These you can build to defend your base. Okay. Now we have new research projects. These are engineering projects from our research. We build these two things. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to assign a new research project. We're going to go ahead and try and build combat armor. Okay? It's going to take us 8 days to do. So it's going to be like day 14 before we actually get that. So we probably won't have it for our next mission. And we're going to go to the engineering screen. And we're going to go ahead and build us a Mars platform. It costs 250,000. Takes 5 days to build it. And then we're going to go ahead and queue up a sentry gun after it for base defense. So that's what we're going to have going in the engineering queue. Okay? We're at day 6, so it's going to be a little while before we get anything really built. We're going to speed it up so we get to our next mission. There's stuff flying around out there. So he's built the combat thing. So we could go into here. That would basically stop everything. Now you can go over here to the ships. What do you need to do is you need to go look and who are we not going to take with us? This guy has 71, 74, 66, 61. Alright. Our assaults are both at 60. Our shield is at 58. Our heavy gunner is at 60, and our sniper is at 63. Now we could take our sniper. Defender armor weighs 20. So if we strip down our sniper a little bit. I'm going to strip down our sniper a little bit so that they can actually have proper armor on and still keep their full points. Okay? Lowers their accuracy a little bit, but at 61% you're still pretty good. And now you're more likely to survive, and he does have a smoke grenade to cover. If he's too many enemies can see him, he can throw out a smoke grenade and try and run away. Okay? Now we want to replace somebody here. I really like all these guys that can move really fast. So, I don't know what I would replace. I usually like to keep my shield person. So I don't know who I would take out. He's only got a 61. There's 66. Maybe we'll get... We could replace the heavy, I guess. It's 8. Only got 4 points. I could get rid of their pistol. 2. And maybe let's grab a flashbang. To suppress the enemy so you can run away. Let's try that. Okay. Keep the sniper where they're at. They've got basically 10 shots, 5 here and 5 here, plus a round to reload. They're probably not going to do much of that. They're going to be running around a bit, I think. Alright, I really don't know who to get rid of to put this, to put the Mars in. I wonder if I should change roles. Accuracy is terrible anyway, so what if we change this person into an assault? Accuracy is even worse, but now they can run really good. They actually can take another smoke grenade. And maybe we'll have this guy become a combat rifleman. Let's do that. Okay, and then of the people that I'm going to replace, I think I'm going to take this sergeant out. So I'm actually going to have my namesake get unassigned. And then we're going to go to here and we're going to put the Mars in. Alright, he's going to go in there. And now we got to go back to the ship. The ship is going to be all messed up because I just changed roles. I don't want this back here. I don't want this towards the front. This is my shield dude. Combat rifle. Heavy. So here's my other assaults. We're going to put him here. Turn him around to face out the door. So we're going to put this combat rifleman here, put the heavy guy over here, put the tank on this side. And we got to turn it so it's facing forward. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be our layout for the next mission. We're pretty much done with this, so accelerate ourselves a little bit. Now he's done. We're not going to assign any new engineering projects. We'll let them generate a little bit of cash. And move ourselves up here. And I've built two things, so we can view the base and see what we've built. So I've got another generator. Notice that it's 230. So I think you get 100 for the access shaft, and 50 for this, and 50 for this. That's 200. But because of the bonus, the generators add 30 power, so I'm up to 230 power. So I should be able to power everything that I'm going to build out here. Okay? 3 days I'll have the medical center, which will help me heal people faster. 8 days we'll start training our guys. 8 days we'll be able to start hiring more engineers and scientists. And in 3 days we'll have the capacity to actually let them live with us. So very soon here, I have 1 day to get this done, but I think I'm going to have a mission before I get to that. What's my time? We're at 19 minutes, so we're going to probably get ourselves up to the next mission. We'll cut this one short, just to show you how things kind of play out. When we get to the next mission, we'll stop there. I'll put in a cut, and then we'll come back and do the next mission. let's speed ourselves up to get to the next mission. Here we are. So we're going to put a cut in here. What this is a timed mission. The time is there. It's there, persistent, which means it's going to stay there. We know where it is. So we can waste a little bit of time and maybe get ourselves a little bit better equipment. We don't want to waste too much time because we are going to have other things going on. So we're not going to launch our combat team immediately on this. So we're going to go ahead and close this down. Well, actually, yeah, we're going to close this down. We know where their intelligence hub is. It's there. It's in darkness right now, so we want to wait a little bit anyway. What we're trying to get to is give it a couple days. There. Warden combat armor. We got this. It's going to give us an armor of 20, hardness of 5, weighs 12 instead of 20, so it's much better armor than what we have for defender armor. Alright? Keep your soldiers alive while you develop superior armor that can truly utilize the capabilities of alien alloys, but you must carefully consider how much of our stockpile of precious alien materials should be used for this purpose. Right. And we got new engineering projects, so we're going to go ahead and assign a new engineering project. Here's research. We're going to go ahead and make weapons. Okay? So we're going to make better weapons for us. And then we're going to go to the engineering. And this costs 4 alien alloys. We have 32. So we could build up to 8 suits. It takes 1 day and 5 hours. So we're going to start. And we're going to want to build at least 3 of them for our 2 assaults and our guy, which is going to take us a little over 3 days. So we're not going to go to get the alien intelligence hub until we get to at least 3 days. I think I'm actually going to make 5 of these. That would take us almost 6 days. I don't know if I want to go that far before I do the mission. Oops, I don't want to make 6. Stop at 5 for now. Okay? And so then we're going to go out to the geoscape. We're going to advance it a few days anyway before we put a cut in. There's a reporter that disappears in South America down here. There's 1 armor. And we've picked up medical and living. So let's go view at the base. So now we have the medical facility. Okay. This power consumption, by the way, is taking into account the buildings I'm going to build. In 5 days, I'll have these others. You cannot hire the engineers and scientists before you have space for them to do their work. So you can't like pre-build them so that when these come online, they immediately start, which I find kind of odd, but okay. It's just the way the game works. You also now can build another airplane, but we're busy building Warden combat armor. So I was going to show you how that would work. We now have 1 Warden armor in here. So the first person I'm going to put it on is going to be my shield person. So I'm going to change them out. I'm going to put them in here. Now you see they've got more weight available. So they can actually go out and grab another kind of grenade. So I was going to have them take flashbang. I don't know, does they have which is this way? That weighs 12. They can't really carry that. They could put this in, which weighs 12, which make their armor a little better, but they don't really have the strength to carry it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take another, like a suppression grenade. So they have a covering grenade. This destroys cover, possibly knocks down enemy units as well. And then this is a flashbang, which will, it's 2.5 tile, so basically it's like a 9 hex tile thing. And it will suppress the enemy, which is another thing that they might need to do. So that's what we're going to do there. The next 2 ones are going to go on our assault guys. Okay, so those will be our next 2 things that we're going to put out there. We're going to build a couple more, which I would probably put on my combat reflex guys, or maybe even my snipers so that they can have more mobility. But right now, we're just going to go back out here and wait till we build a couple more engineering things. There's another one. We've got to wait for at least one more. And we should be now, we should have enough to give them to our to these guys so that she now can carry. See, it lowers the total weight, so now I can give her a smoke grenade, and I can just say that's the way my assault people should save. And this guy can get one as well. So they're moving fast. I'm going to build some more, which I will put on my combat riflemen going forward. But I think we're pretty much set to try and take out that intelligence hub. We'll go try it with this crew. This guy moves at 71. This guy moves at 66. Josh moves at 61. The heavy moves at 60. The sniper moves at 63. My assaults are moving at 74 and 60. And she moves at 58. So we're a little slow on the shield bearer, but we'll have to deal with it. Alright, so we're going to go back out to where? I want to make sure that my ship is built. This is going to be Josh Wood, he's a 61. And Mueller was a 66. This one was a 74, right? Let's check the Gale. 71. 66 and 60. So I want 66 and 61. 61 and 66. 71. So I want the 71 to be a little bit different. Okay. So I think we're okay here. Yep, I think we're in a good position. All right. So we will pick ourselves up from the Skyhawk here. Next time we will come back and we will do that cleaner mission. So if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up button. You really like to see, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notify bell, be notified, upload videos, and schedule streams. Do note that I was able to wait because this particular mission is called Persistent. So I was allowed to wait and get some better armor on some of my guys that are probably going to be busting down doors and things. I might change the order and put the assaults, the faster assaults up front so they can get a move on. I'm not sure. I actually kind of like my assaults coming out the side and running up because it helps build up their time units and strength and stuff like that. And this is my my reserve guy. I'm actually going to move him up a little bit closer because he moves kind of fast. So I'm going to move him up this way. All right. So we'll pick up with the going after the cleaner mission next time. Again, if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up button. Really like to see you, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notify bell. Notified, upload videos and schedule streams. I plan on doing a full playthrough of the early access after I get done with these sort of introduction things. I probably will cut it off. Let's see, this is a timed mission. I think there's one more mission type, which is like a destroyed UFO, which I will try to do a video on and give you an idea. Again, this is from an everyman's point of view, not necessarily the best way to play it. There's people out there that are probably better experts at it than me, but I'm trying to show you kind of how all the mechanics work and some of the good stuff that they've added and give you a feel for how the tactical combat unfolds. So next time we will do the tactical combat on the timed mission where you have to gather stuff and get yourself back on your boat and before you can leave, and we'll see how that one works out. Until we meet again, stay safe and bye-bye.